Okay, so we winterize our homes, we winterize our cars, we winterize ourselves to better prepare for the colder months. But do we winterize our dogs? In this episode, we're going to talk about 5 things that you should be doing to help keep your dogs and cats more comfortable in the colder weather.
You're listening to the Grooming by Rudy Podcast.
Okay, guys, so welcome back to the Grooming by Rudy Podcast. For those of you who don't know us, we are father and son dog grooming duo. I'm Rudy V, along with my son Anthony Ray, and welcome to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you guys here with us because we love talking about dogs, we love talking about our pets, and we love talking about how we can better take care of them. So welcome to the show. YouTube algorithm is saying that you guys like the show, so we're doing another one. That's the whole purpose of us being here with you guys today. So again, welcome to the show. And Ant, how you doing, man? Do you like the cold weather, Anthony?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I hate the winter months. Daylight savings, that nonsense daylight savings where it's what is it right now? It's not even 5 o'clock. It's dark outside. I'm tired of it, but I hate being hot. So I'm a bit of a weirdo. Yeah. I don't like the winter months. I don't hate the holidays as much as everybody else. I don't like the winter months, how it's freezing and how it's dark outside all the time. But I would rather, I'm one of those people, I'd rather be cold than hot. So no, but yes.
I couldn't agree more. I can't stand the cold weather. I don't like living in, the northern states where it gets to below freezing temperatures here. Like Anthony said, it's already dark out here. And I don't know, to me, seems very depressing sometimes. And to be honest, I think that pawns over to our dogs and our cats too. I don't think they do too well up here, with the colder weather.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my issue with the winter months is it's like they just get depressing. Everybody turns pale. Like, I don't know. My cats, they sleep like 20 hours a day, but now they're sleeping like 22. Like, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, pets definitely get depressed.
Yeah. You get all dried out. Your car runs bad. The house is cold. I don't know, man. For me, I'm more of like, let's jump on a cruise ship. Let's go to the Bahamas. Let's fly down to Miami or something. Which we could never do, unfortunately, not at the moment anyway. But that's my thing. If I had my way, I would spend my winters in Florida. Just to get away from the cold.
Yeah, what do they call that? Snowboarding? No,
snowboarding.
Snowbirding.
What you do is you get on a snowboard and you snowboard all the way down to Miami.
This is
it's called snowboarding.
Somebody should come up with a device, some sort of boarding device that you could sort of slide down the mountain or a steep hill. Snowbirding.
Yeah. So those of you who live up here know what we're talking about, and you may disagree. I mean, some people actually like the cold weather. If you're a big skier or, you like snow tubing and stuff like that, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. It's great for the kids. The kids like the snow, but I don't know. As you get older, you tend to have a little bit less tolerance for the colder weather. And again, this pawns off to our dogs and our cats. When they're up here, they get cold. So we want to talk about 5 things that we could do to help them feel a little bit more comfortable in the winter months. So, and we got a bonus one, but number 5 is going to be the one that you want to stick around for because it's overlooked very often. So stick around for number 5. It's really important. But number 1 is we tend to let our dog's hair grow out, right, during the winter months. So from a grooming perspective, it's a natural thing to let your dog's coat grow out. And does that help keep them warm? Absolutely. Yeah, you should keep them a little bit longer during the winter months. So if you're going to the groomer, you may ask to leave the coat a little longer. The only thing is, if you're going to do this, you have to maintain your dog more often at home. And we stress brushing all the time. So again, get your grooming skills going at home and take care of your dog during the winter months. You're going to have to brush more often to keep that coat rather tangle free, so that they don't get matted during the winter months. And also, you want to prepare during the spring. More than likely, if they do get matted, you're going to have to go for a shave down. So prepare for that. But yes, that's one thing that we should do, is let their coats grow out a little bit and just maintain them during the winter months.
It's one of the reasons we get so crazy during the holidays is there's like a blend of that. There's some people who want to keep their dogs long but aren't really maintaining them at home, and then like it gets close to Christmas and our phone starts going off like crazy, and it's like, oh, squeeze me in here, squeeze me in there, and all of the groomings are taking longer. So the biggest part about what you just said is the maintaining at home. Like if you want your dog to grow out a little bit, you just got to get that brush on them a couple times a week just to maintain it. That way when spring does come around, you don't have to go with like some really, really short cut that you don't like, and now you get the benefit of both. Now you winterized your dog's coat, and then once the weather breaks back warm, you don't have to you don't have to go with the cut that you don't like, and the groomer's shaving your dog down or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Number 2, we're going to flow right along with these today, Anthony, because there's a lot to get to.
We're going to snowboard right on through.
Right. We're snowboarding right down to Miami with these. Number 2 is break out with the sweaters, the coats, the rubber booties, especially if you have a very short-coated breed, like a French Bulldog, a Doberman, an Italian Greyhound. These dogs do not do well in the cold weather. Short-coated dogs or flat-coated dogs, they will get much more cold and struggle more in the colder winter months. Unlike if you have a Samoyed, a Husky. To be honest with you guys, Samoyeds, Husky, these double-coated dogs, they thrive in the winter. They love the cold weather.
Yeah. It's funny, like Italian Greyhounds, you can't even give them a bath without them just being freezing, like with warm water and everything. Those poor little dogs, they got no coat, like none. But yeah, then you got the opposite side of the spectrum where you got Huskies who just thrive in it, absolutely thrive in it.
Yeah. Quick story. I lived in a neighborhood, and this guy had a Siberian Husky that he left outside a lot. The dog loved being outside, and he lived right around the corner from us. And we lived over in Rahway there, and people would call the cops on him because his dog would be laying out there in the snow, and people would think that he's abusing the dog for leaving the dog outside. But guys, you have to realize something. Dogs like that, they love it. They love being outside. So the guy was like literally saying, what do you want me to do? Dog loves it. He doesn't like being inside. As a matter of fact, with the heat on and everything, we're going to get into that too. Dogs like that will tend to suffer. They actually end up getting too hot and dehydrating in the winter months. So again, if you have that type of a dog, if you have a double-coated dog, you have a Samoyed, something like that, those dogs aren't going to get very cold in the wintertime. They're not. They do fine. As a matter of fact, you might want to get them outside more often in the winter months.
That's why it's like if you have like a real thick-coated dog and you ever wonder why in the summer your dog happens to be like laying down in the kitchen a lot or like in the bathroom, it's because the tile is much cooler and the dog is doing anything it can to get just a tiny bit cooler, because if you have carpet or even just like wood floor, like tiles just stay cold, even colder than a hardwood floor. So it's like that's why they're doing that. Those double coated, big thick coated dogs, they hate being hot. They hate being hot, just like me.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of double coated.
You're definitely double coated.
I'm double coated.
You're triple coated.
Yeah,
with snowboarding and everything like that.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it.
I don't even have to wear a jacket when I go snowboarding.
No, he's right, exactly. But that leads us into number 3. Okay, is if you do have tile floors or wooden floors tend to get very cold in the winter. You may want to think about raising your dog's bedding. They make great cots that will actually lift your dog off of the ground, so they're not getting that cold floor into their underside and into their bones like that. They're not laying on a cold floor. So just increase bedding or raise their bedding. Make sure that they have ample bedding to kind of lay on to keep them from laying on a cold floor.
I saw this amazing, I think it was on Instagram or something. This couple had, I have no idea how comfortable their bed was, but they sort of had, underneath their bed was completely hollow, and they made basically like a little apartment under their bed that had a fake TV and a fake bed and a couch and everything. Or they had a small dog or something and it liked sleeping under there.
Yeah.
And again, it's like I think they even had a fake ceiling fan. It was the cutest and funniest thing ever. I have no idea how they made it. And again, because there's no support under their bed whatsoever, I have no idea how comfortable their bed was or how safe that is, so to speak, I guess. But it was the coolest thing ever. I don't know why. You just made me think of that with the bedding.
Yeah. It's amazing what people will do. I think it's funny too, like the sweaters, the coats, the booties, some of the stuff that you can purchase for your dog to wear is just hysterical. It's just really, really funny.
We were just talking about that with one of our customers the other day, where some dogs have better lives than human beings. They have better wardrobes and better clothes and stuff like that. With some of even some of the leashes that we see coming in here are like, is this like a Dolce Gabbana like Gucci?
Yep.
Like it's just, people love their dogs, man, and like the dog clothes aren't half bad these days. They're really, the coats that they make are beautiful, and they'll keep your dog warm. Like it's it's pretty necessary for a lot of breeds.
Yeah, really high end accessories are a thing. So if that's your thing, power to you. Just keep your dog warm. So number four is, listen. Fleas will linger for a very long time. Fleas will linger well into the winter, guys, because they're still very, very active on deer, on squirrels. So if your dog is running around, don't think just because it gets cold, fleas are gone. They're not. So I recommend doing one last really, really good, thorough flea treatment, a flea bath, a flea dip. Whatever you do, whatever you're using, we recommend organic flea shampoos. Just do a couple of really good, thorough organic flea shampoos right prior to the first frost, and one final flea treatment right before winter gets well in its way. Because if your dog does have fleas, they're just going to stay alive in the house and on your dog. They're going to stay nice and warm in your house. So make sure you rid your dog of fleas right before the first frost.
Yeah, the fleas are going to be like, oh, dude, this is great. This is awesome.
Yeah, they'll probably make accessories for fleas too at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, the fleas are going to be like, dude, this dog has a bedroom down here under the bed. This is crazy. We could stay here all winter.
Exactly. Take care of everything but ourselves.
Yeah. Man, dude, fleas are a tough problem. But at least they are less of a problem in the winter. But you make a good point, because that kind of gets overlooked a little bit too, is that we go into winter, and just because you haven't seen a bee in a month doesn't mean that like all insects are just kind of gone for a couple of months. Like, no, fleas, it happens. And, especially if you have one of the breeds that we were talking about before, those double-coated, thick-coated dogs who are still kind of outside and stuff like that. You never know. Your husky might have a flea from 2 months ago, a couple of fleas from 2 months ago that you didn't even know was there, and then winter comes along and you're like, yeah, no, it doesn't have fleas, and dog's in the house more often, and it's like, little do you know, the dog has fleas all winter. You don't know.
Absolutely, yeah. Fleas thrive on double-coated dogs because it's like a safe haven underneath their coat. They're down by the skin. They're like untouchable. So if you do have a double-coated dog, make sure you rake that dog out, get that undercoat out right before winter sets in, and do that flea treatment. So, all right. So number 5, and this is the one that I think is overlooked a lot, is dogs, despite it being cold, actually will tend to dehydrate a lot in the winter months, because we turn on our heat, a lot of people have forced air heat. This stuff dries them out. It dries out their coat. They tend to suffer breathing wise, because now they're breathing in all of this, condensed air, just recycled heat, and they will dehydrate. So I recommend that even during the winter months, open up a window for at least 10 to 15 minutes and get some fresh air going through your house, okay? And this way your dog stays hydrated, especially if you have a double-coated dog. But any dog, and even for you, we will dehydrate, our nose gets dry, our lips get dry, our mouths get dry. So it's very, very important to stay hydrated. Another thing you can do is make sure you're giving your dog, of course, plenty of water, and maybe even give them a little bit of wet food. It will help keep them hydrated during the winter months when the heat is on, okay? You don't want your dog dehydrating, so make sure that they stay hydrated. Again, open up a window, get some fresh air going through your house.
It's especially true for, and I have a friend or two who does this, where not every dog gets walked. It's some people are just older, or some of our customers, and they just let their dogs go on wee pads in their house, and the dog lives like a completely inside life. So it's especially true for those where you're not even giving any fresh air for your dog when you bring them outside for a walk or let them in the backyard for a couple of minutes. So if you have that going on, if you're older, you don't really have the means of walking your dog, or depending on where you live and all that. There are lots of reasons why, but yeah, so that's especially true. Just crack it, if anything. Just circulate the air a little bit, because not everybody has the capability to walk their dog and get fresh air that way. And even if you do, the air in your house is still very stuffy. So even if the dog itself is getting some fresh air on the walk, it's still going home and kind of dehydrating a little bit, because it's just, it's so stuffy in the winter. I hate winter.
Yeah, me too. I can't stand it. So we do have a bonus one. We have a number 6 of way to keep your dog comfortable in the winter months. But this one is for cats. This isn't number 6 yet, but I wanted to add this for cats. And you'll probably agree with me on this. Cats, if you notice, they love just sitting and sunbathing in the house. So make sure that you leave a drape open where some sun is getting into your house, so your cat can have a nice little warm spot. Because if you own a cat out there, you guys know as well as I do, they love just sleeping in the sun.
Oh, they absolutely love it. Yeah, pay close attention, and you're 100% right on this, by the way. Pay close attention to whatever time of day the sun comes beaming through a specific window in your house or something. I guarantee you at some point your cat is going to go there one day, and leave that drape open for them, because cats do not like it. Man, some dogs hate the cold. Cats hate being cold.
Yeah.
Hate it. And I find my cats regularly on a daily basis, they move toward different parts of the house, wherever the sun is coming in at that moment. It's in the morning. I'll give you a quick layout. In the morning, in the back of where I live, the sun comes in through there, so they sleep on this bookcase and on this big thick windowsill that we have. And then in the afternoon, it moves over to the other side of my place, and we have a big cat tree there, and the sun goes beaming in there, and a bench, one of those little decorative benches, and they both sleep over there throughout the morning. And then toward the evening, when the sun's about to set, it beams right into my bedroom. So, and then you'll find them both on my bed. So yeah, no, the cats just they'll make their way around wherever the sun is.
Yeah, and they love it. They love sleeping in the sun. So
they'll soak it up, man.
Oh yeah, yep. So bonus number 6 thing that you can do to keep your pet more comfortable in the winter months is you keep up with groomings. You got to keep up with groomings. Just because it's winter time doesn't mean don't get your dog groomed. Definitely get your dog to the groomer on a regular schedule like you've been. And if you do let the dog grow out, again, like we said, groom at home, okay? Get that slicker brush out. Get that greyhound comb out. Get them on your grooming table. Give them some brush outs. If you can do a little sanitary clip here and there, clean their butts, clean their privates, clean their pads. And while you're cleaning their pads, you want to put on a nice healing, protecting, soothing balm. Okay, we recommend Smith & Burton. Smith & Burton has a great healing, soothing balm that you could use on the pads of the feet. You can even use it on the nose, because again, with the dry air, these things are going to crack just like your chapped lips. It will also protect them from walking on the cold ground. The salt on the ground, if you guys are using salt to melt the ice and melt the snow, snow. So a soothing protective balm on the pads and on the nose will definitely keep the dog from getting all chafed and dried out, and keep their skin nice and hydrated and moist, so they're not getting those those calcified elbows. Use it on the calcified elbows, and before you even use that, you can use also Smith & Burton has a great they have really nice cleaning wipes, nourishing cleaning wipes that you can use to wipe the pads, wipe the nose before you even apply the balm. So make sure you use that and protect your dog.
It's funny because, and I'm sure some people think this, that there's almost like this, when winter rolls around, there's almost like this vibe of like, oh, good, I don't have to really worry about grooming anymore for a couple of months, or and it's like, it's actually the opposite. You actually have to do a couple of things that are really important, that are sort of piled on to being a pet owner. So it's sort of the opposite of that. Like a lot of people, it's sort of like when we have a booked day, and it happens to be pouring rain that day. There's almost a guarantee one or two people aren't going to show up because it's raining. The world kind of stops when it's raining. So it's like, it's kind of, you get that like same vibe with winter where it's like, I'm not going to worry about grooming for a couple of months. And it's like, you can do that, I guess, depending on the breed that you have. But, most breeds, it's almost, if anything, you got to almost kick it up a notch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And one last thing I want to say before we end this episode is, if you have a situation where you kind of let your dog out in the backyard to go to the bathroom and just let them back in while you maybe go make a cup of coffee, please don't forget your dog out there. Okay. I've made that mistake where it's like, oh my God, I'm U-turning in my car because I got to get back home because I left my dog outside by accident. It's a common mistake people make, especially if you're in a rush. If you let your dog out, you definitely don't want your little Italian Greyhound sitting outside on a winter day. So make sure that you always remember to let your dog back in the house if you have that situation where you let them out in your backyard, just to play it safe.
Yeah, we didn't have that problem with my with my pug, because he hated the snow so much that he refused to even go to the bathroom in it. We used to have to shovel a patch. I guarantee I'm not the only person that this has happened to, but we used to have to shovel parts of our grass so that he would go to the bathroom out there, and he couldn't get back inside quick enough. Just you didn't even have time to leave the back door to go make some coffee. He was already like, no, get back, open this door.
Yeah, right. Well, the good thing about that too, though, is it makes poop cleanup a little bit easier too, because now you're just scooping up some nice frozen poop, instead of the summer poop, which is a little bit more disgusting.
Yeah, especially if your dog is going kind of soft.
Yeah,
those bags are a little bit, it's like, oh God, jeez.
All right, guys. So I hope this episode helps you guys out. Again, we're just so happy and thankful that we could be doing the podcast with you, and we appreciate you, each and every one of you. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed this episode. We love making them for you. You could also go over to our other YouTube channel, Grooming by Rudy. We have tons of helpful dog grooming tips and tutorials for you over there. And also, don't forget to check out PetEdge.com. Use promo code Rudy5. Save $5 off of every order of $100 or more. Until next time, take care, guys.